Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Let's see, what interesting things are going on in my life lately? I got my W-2 in the mail. I could do my taxes. No, we got the winter storms here finally, and, man, I wish it snowed here, but, the ice was fun. Half of my car froze over. I mean, it's fine. Everything worked out fine as soon as I turned it on and warmed it up, but, I'm shocked that we got so much rain and that it was so far under the, freezing point, so far under 32 Fahrenheit, and it didn't snow at all. Nivette says it's got to be like 9 degrees here. We didn't get quite that bad. We got down to 22, but, well, I think actually one day was in the teens, but our high was only like 24 or something one day. It was absolutely absurd. And that's Arctic storms for you. Tax time, says 9.0. Yes, indeed, it is tax season. Please spend your income tax dollars on our goods and services. Please, thank you. We are holding sales for 4 months fucking straight. No, No, something else I got to do today was, meet up with some, IRL friends that I haven't seen in ages. It was supposed to be more than one. One of them has kids, and, they, tried to be there. And they had a whole plan lined up for the kids and everything, and then one of them tore their lip and had to go to the ER, so... This is really sad. She's doing okay, so is my friend, and, I'll get to see him at some point. But I got to meet up with another friend, and he's doing great, and I'm happy to get out of the house. My partner's at MagFest right now. I'm here at home taking care of the cats, so figure I might as well use the time for the most of it. Speaking of taxes and other fun adulting things, I got chores done today. I cleaned the kitchen from top to bottom. I'm very happy about this, actually. It's been in needing doing for very long, and I don't do chores nearly enough, and I really ought to. Still haven't worked that into the whole adulting thing yet. Nubet says, as a child myself, I think children are annoying. I mean, they're small people. You give them the time and space to grow up and be themselves, but, some of them are definitely not handled very well. And some of them can't be handled very well. And it's a balancing act and a tightrope, but I think I've met more good children than not. But maybe I just got lucky. I know why you're saying that, though. I'm very sorry for your situation. What else is new? Right, my partner's at MagFest. That's why we're doing the stream tonight, is that I'm gonna pick her up from the airport tomorrow, and that's, like, during my usual time slot. So, we're doing Diddy Kong Racing tonight instead. So it goes. Had other things I wanted to say. I'm so good at this. Every time I start up the stream, I'm so busy, like, sending out all the links, setting up the consoles and cords and shit. I mean, most of it's set up already. I just need to make sure it works. And then, doing all the stuff to set up for the stream, and then I sit here, and the microphone turns on, and I'm like, hey, everybody, welcome to the stream! Mine goes blank. That's just how it goes sometimes. Right! I've been playing Golden Sun. That just released on Switch Online, the Game Boy Advance, funny Netflix as a service. And, man, that is a fantasy RPG if I've ever seen one. I tend to have a hard time getting into those. Golden Sun starts out very serious and only gets more serious from there. But it starts very, fast-paced and then sort of slows down not long after that. But, definitely the first couple hours gripped me, but also those first couple of hours are how long it took me to get out to the overworld for the first time, so I'm a little worried it's going to be a bit more of a slog than I'm used to. Normally when it comes to being RPGs, I tend to like watching other people play them. I think I've talked about this before. I'm really excited to watch Vinny Vinesauce play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth next month, so that I don't have to play it myself, because I can't do the RPG thing. Vet says, my brother's been, like, better recently. He's not hurting me over 3D World, but that might be because he never gets the crown, so I can't steal it from him. Fair enough. Man, I'm really sorry about the relationship you two have. I hope it gets better, or I hope you can get out of there. That's really all I can say about that. People need to be nicer about things. People need to take it seriously when somebody says, I'm being hurt as well. That some adults just aren't good at that. Golden Sun. So, I just got out to the overworld when I stopped the other night, and I'm up and down on it. I want to come back to it and keep giving it more of a chance because I know it is very beloved, but something that is that straight of a fantasy RPG is definitely going to give me some trouble as I'm going through it. The only one that's ever really caught me is Shining Force. And wouldn't you know it, Golden Sun is made by the same people as Shining Force. So I kind of recognized it based on the menu system. You press the button and a couple of boxes appear at the bottom that say, use an item, talk to this person, check your status, all that. So, it definitely looked very familiar at first, and then when I looked it up later, I was like, oh, it is the same people. It is literally the same people. It advertises as such on the back of the box. So, it's no wonder that I've always had my eye on it, and it's been like, maybe this one will be different. But we'll see. 9.0 says, I click with action RPGs instantly, turn-based ones not so much. I always wanted to click with action RPGs. Xenoblade was a fun one for me for a little while. It's not as action, but it's on the right track. I haven't gotten into, like, Tales of series or anything. Xenoblade's one that I have a complicated relationship with because I love its story and its characters and its world so deeply, and I just cannot fucking sit down and play it. But I did play Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and that one clicked with me finally. After I had attempted to watch 1, bounced off of 1, watched a full Let's Play of 1, heard so much about 2 that it was not going to be my style, waited for a full Let's Play of 2 to come out, watched the full Let's Play of 2, and absorbed all of that information about how the Xenoblade series works, and finally went into 3 like, yeah, I know how these systems work, and played it, and it rules, actually. 9.0 says, it definitely stems to me having more involvement in combat. Yeah, I can see that. I do actually like old-school beat-em-ups, and action RPGs always felt like sort of tangential to that in a way. So I'd probably like more action-focused RPGs as well. Something like Xenoblade, where you are more sitting there waiting for the auto fight to happen, is somewhere halfway in between, where it's like, I'm bored sitting here, and my brain is turning off, and I can't strategize. Xenoblade games are so good. Yes, I agree. 3 especially is absolutely stellar, and I really need to pick up the DLC sometime. Mario and Luigi, Nubet says, do turn-based battles a lot better because I think you can actually dodge. That is one thing, yes, and also that combat is very involved, like 9.0 was saying. Even just having timed button presses makes the combat feel so much more in-depth. And the bros attacks especially are just, like, perfect examples of this. They are proper-ass little mini-games at a certain point. That says a lot of RPGs have seen the player characters just stand there. Yeah, and even a lot of action RPGs, even sometimes Xenoblade, you'll go to move your character around, and it turns out the enemy you're fighting has aggroed you, and so it can hit you from fucking anywhere you're standing, and so dodging doesn't mean anything. So, I mean, it varies based on the game. Anything where you can dodge is automatically an instant win in my book. And by instant win, I mean it's an instant win, but I mean, what? All the Mario RPGs are very good examples, really. I agree. Those are the ones that I usually can typically get into. Paper Mario doesn't have a complete dodge, per se, unless you're playing Thousand Year Door. I got very, very good at Super Guarding in Thousand Year Door. But, what it does have is a guard, and just being able to guard and having the timed hit for that adds so much depth to the actual battles. But, like, I've tried to get into the Final Fantasies of our day, and even the ones that are more action-oriented, where you're waiting on the ATB gauge to fill up, like 7. Tried to get into that, bounced off it. That one's actually too fast-paced for me. It feels like enemies can attack more and more frequently than I can, because they don't have to go through the menus. And I sit there trying to figure out what I'm doing like a doofus. and just keep getting wailed on over and over again. So that's not my style. I know there are certain ways of playing that where the game will freeze until you've chosen something, which might be better for me. Something I liked about In Stars in Time, actually. 9.0 says, I couldn't get into the OG Final Fantasy VII, but I loved the remake. I can totally see that, yeah. The remake is much more action-oriented, and I had my eye on it. That's so much of an investment to bounce off of, and the way Xenoblade 1 left a sour taste in my mouth in that sense, I kind of just I didn't want to take a chance on it. Especially knowing that there would be more, it would probably be next console generation. I'd probably have to buy a whole ass other console in order to keep up with it. Nah. I'm glad I'm experiencing it this way, personally. Get some water. Meanwhile, Diddy Kong Racing is about the furthest you can get from a fucking RPG. So why don't we switch over to that momentarily. There we go. That's the song. Man, Team Sonic Racing has such good music. Maybe I'll even pick up the game and play it one day. Switch over my monitor so we can actually play the video game. 9.0 says, what do you mean? Diddy Kong Racing is my favorite RPG. It's a race-playing game, so I suppose. Racing-playing game, not a race-playing game. No. Anyway. Ready!